There's nothing nicer than fish and chips, and a perfect batter for this is using self-raising flour and some beer to make it light. We need about a cup of self-raising flour, about a cup of beer, a tablespoon of oil, and a good pinch of salt for flavor. Whisk that until it's nice and smooth, and you'll be able to tell the texture whether you need a little bit more self-raising flour or a little bit more beer. But we need to rest this for about 10 minutes before we use it, which allows the flour to absorb the liquid and thicken slightly. It needs to be slightly runny, not too thick and not too thin, and that's actually the perfect consistency. So while that's resting, let's make a tartar sauce which goes perfectly with this fish. It's a combination of mayonnaise, some hard-boiled eggs, a little bit of pickled cucumber, some spring onion, and some chopped parsley. And just chop it really, really fine. And these are quite strong flavors, so they complement the fish nicely because you've got a nice light batter on the fish, and that tartar sauce just really kind of finishes it off. Then we do some hard-boiled egg. We'll add this to the mayonnaise. Now we want to do some parsley just to finish it off. Give it a nice mix. A little bit of salt and pepper just to give it the final touch. And that's our tartar sauce. I've got some lovely fresh hake today. It's a nice sustainable fish, but if you can't use fresh, frozen is perfect. Just drain it really well before you use it so that there's not a lot of water in the oil. And I like to heat sunflower oil when I fry. It's about 2 to 3 centimeters of oil. And it's generally about a 250-gram portion is per serving. You always want to cut the fish against the grain. So if the grain is going this way, we want to cut this way so that the fish doesn't break when you fry it. So we'll cut it down the middle and then across like that. So my portions stay nice and firm. Hake is a very soft fish, so you need to treat it quite well and carefully. And now we want to dredge that fish into a little bit of flour. It just coats it, and when we dip it into the batter, it keeps the batter stuck nicely to the fish. So I sometimes add a drop of salt in here also, which gives you that little bit of added flavor. Fish goes in, lightly coat it. The batter is beautiful. It's fluffy, it's absorbed the beer. We're going to dip our fish, just enough for it to stick, and coat the fish, and then straight into that oil. Now we need to cook the fish through, so it needs a good 10 minutes of frying. Don't have the oil too hot, because what happens is you'll get a really dark outside, but inside won't be cooked through. It's beautiful, it's fluffy. Now all that's left to do is just to cook the fish completely through. Drain off these pieces. They're absolutely beautiful. And I've got a gorgeous, beautiful big dish to put the fish into. It stays crispy because of that light batter. I'm going to serve them with some potato wedges, just for a bit of a different spin instead of chips, and a little sprinkle of parsley. And there you have it, the perfect Friday night dish of crispy battered fish.